Dear all, in the following 3 minutes, I am going to be speaking in favor of the topic that India's foreign policy has failed to keep in line with its international global aspirations. Speaking of global aspirations India has always had, India has always striven to be one of the top global countries in the world and be in the league of developed countries like United States of America, Germany, etc. India has unequivocally also always vouched for wanting to be a member of the United Nations Security Council and be a key diplomatic player in determining peace and international cooperation in the world thereto. However, over time, due to numerous reasons, India has failed in fulfilling that objective or even coming closer to it. And I'm going to be speaking on two major reasons as to why that has happened. Firstly, India has been rather reactive than being proactive in situations where an immediate and strong call from and response from India was required. To speak of the recent Chinese incursions into the Indian territory, India failed to respond to Indians asking its government as to why such was continuing and is continuing to happen. For every mile that a Chinese troop has taken and walked into the Indian territory, numerous and countless lives of Indian soldiers in the history have been lost protecting our motherland. India needs to use its military and diplomatic strength in order to use muscle flexing and assert India's strength in issues relating thereto. To add to these situations, India has also always lacked to respond adequately from cross-border terrorism that comes from Pakistan. What this does is that it creates an image for India which is not in sync with what it wants to be. If India really wants to be a superpower, it needs to start portraying itself as one, and therefore I firmly believe that India needs to become more proactive in its foreign policy than reactive. Secondly, and speaking of ties and friendly ties India shares with its neighboring countries, including cases in point Sri Lanka and Bangladesh, India has over time failed to adequately lend a big brother image to its neighboring countries. Sri Lanka's impeachment case of Shirani Bandaranaike and an immediate call to reassert democratic ties within India and Sri Lanka went unresponded. The growing threat of anti-India sentiment rising in Bangladesh from the Jamaat-e-Islami again was failed to be adequately responded to by the various government members. Furthermore, even the foreign direct investment which was sought to be brought forth and was controversial in the aviation and food industry was only tagged as a knee-jerk reaction from the Prime Minister following certain criticisms. To conclude, if India really wants to become a superpower, it needs to show itself as a strong superpower and thereby also become a key player in determining its friendly ties with the countries it needs to, and also to strongly assert its identity against those which try to threaten India and its position in the world. To conclude, furthermore, India needs to awaken, redefine and reassert its incredible identity in the international arena, then get lost in translation in the pages of world history. With that, I'm very proud to propose.